Rockstar, huh? Bethesda, what's going on here, brother? What's up? Yes. Let's talk about this real quick. What's up? You know what I mean? GTA 6, it's on the horizon, but still with no fucking release date in sight. And it's been almost 10 years since GTA 5's initial release in 2013. 10 years, huh? What about Red Dead Redemption 2? Red Dead Redemption 2 hasn't been updated or refreshed anywhere near as much as GTA 5. Which, for all intents and purposes, Rockstar's given GTA 5 the Skyrim treatment, releasing the same goddamn game multiple times. And speaking of Skyrim, Bethesda, Elder Scrolls 6, Fallout 5, or at the very least a successor to New Vegas, or possibly a remaster of older Elder Scrolls games, or a new Fallout remaster, you know what I mean? And again, you know, Starfield nears with a supposed 2023 release date. Who knows if that's gonna get fucking pushed back again. But why should Bethesda just leave two of their biggest franchises on the shelf to gather dust? I mean, there's ESO and Fallout 76, which are interesting in their own right, but I feel like Bethesda can do so much more in the way of fleshing out their respective universes. Fallout New Vegas was a step in the right direction, a direction that more game studios are now taking, which is good. So what exactly is it that's so great that game studios are doing now? Well, it's to let other talented studios lend a hand in fleshing out what could be from such fantastic IPs, such as Cyberpunk.
I know the rules. Everything's there.
It might be, it might not be. We'll see.
League of Legends.
Two new fucking chunks of...
And The Last of Us. And I'm not just talking about games, I'm of course talking about taking a multimedia approach. Not only does this satisfy the hunger of their fervent fans' favorite IPs, but it increases accessibility of said IP to a much, much wider audience. You know, and this can allow the mainline games to keep their kind of core quality and value, all while letting other studios garner more attention and possibly fans from a larger demographic of the population. Take, for example, The Witcher Netflix show. Now, the huge asterisk on this one, take it with a little bit of a grain of salt here, but, you know, it's a show that in its endeavor to generalize the Witcher IP seemingly has lost the faith of Witcher fans across the board. Yet, in spite of this, those who don't necessarily care about the Witcher franchise might find the series to be at least a decent and fun fantasy show, thus reaching a larger and wider audience. Furthermore, the core Witcher fanbase that stems from the games can still enjoy the vastness and richness of their favorite Witcher game in isolation from the show itself. I do want to note here that I don't want The Witcher to be reduced to a decent and fun fantasy show that kind of just hurts on a somewhat deep level, but I figured that the show's getting a beating as it is, so I'll probably, you know, fly over that front for now. Perhaps better and happier examples would be Cyberpunk 2077, League of Legends, and The Last of Us. Incredible games that are only enhanced by the fact that their anime and TV show counterparts, respectively, have performed so incredibly well. And going back to the topic of games, CDPR and Riot Games have proceeded to outsource the development of spin-offs from their games to talented studios across the globe. From dev studios such as Choice Provisions, Airship Syndicate, and Double Stallion come different games in the form of mobile experiences, action platforming, and turn-based games. And in the way of CDPR, devs such as The Molasses Flood and Fool's Theory are developing two different Witcher games, the latter of whom is developing a Witcher 1 remake, which is something that I am so excited for. In addition to these games being developed by other dev teams, there are the mainline games that fans know and love. So while fans wait for the next big Witcher game, or if fans are looking for a different type of game based within the League of Legends universe, there are games being developed to satisfy those needs, which is ultimately where some of the biggest studios and franchises in the industry fall short. But obviously, it's not just a matter of simply doing it, but doing it well. Two examples that perpetuate this notion are Halo, which fucking hurts to say, and the aforementioned Witcher franchise. Now, Halo is its own beast of a problem to dive into and untangle, so I won't be going too deep into the franchise as a whole, perhaps a future video. But I'll say this, Halo, of course, is not doing well. Despite taking a multimedia approach to the franchise and keeping the core mainline games, Halo still managed to trip over itself multiple times since the Xbox One era. Sparing the details, Halo's execution of its want to generalize to a wider audience whilst trying to maintain its core values and quality was not good. The show, and unfortunately Halo Infinite, have suffered immensely due to the poor execution of what is an otherwise great plan that's worked for others, and hopefully with new leadership at 343 things will change for the better. Now, going back to The Witcher, it's a different story altogether. Previously stated, The Witcher Netflix show has little to no bearing on the perception of the games, which, when you consider the reviews of the Netflix show, it's a good thing. While The Witcher's execution of this multimedia, multi-developer approach isn't horrible, it's not the best either. And yet, in spite of this, The Witcher 3 player base saw big increases during the initial release of Season 1 and Season 2 of The Witcher Netflix show. Even more exciting, there are more to come. There is more? There are more to come. There is more. Even more exciting, there is more to come in the way of other Witcher games from different developers, so I guess we'll wait and see how those games turn out. So when this multimedia, multi-developer approach is executed well, there is an exponential increase in interest for the respective franchises as a whole. Furthermore, the perception of the respective franchise is viewed more positively, boosting subsequent reviews and player counts. One of the more recent and my personal favorite example of this approach working is Cyberpunk 2077. With Cyberpunk Edgerunners, Cyberpunk 2077 saw an enormous increase in player count, and the perception of the game had changed from what was initially very negative to very positive praise. Broadly, this is what game studios can expect from good execution of this approach. This is what League of Legends saw with Arcane, and similarly with The Last of Us with their HBO series. And going back to Fallout New Vegas, which is arguably the best Fallout game ever made, even though an entirely different studio made that game, Obsidian Studios, that game garnered the Fallout franchise even more respect and love, albeit with bigger expectations too. Now, considering how well this multimedia, multi-developer approach has worked for those who have executed it well, and even in situations where it hasn't worked out for the best, I can imagine that it would only be a matter of time before other big studios follow in their footsteps. Fallout is getting closer to releasing their TV show on Amazon Prime, Halo is renewed for a second season, The Witcher renewed for a fourth, though I'm not sure how long those two shows are gonna last. Arcane is confirmed for a second season, and possibly others I'm not aware of. Furthermore, these studios, CDPR, Riot Games, 343, and others respectively, have already begun outsourcing their franchises to different developers for the production of other games within their beloved universes. All in all, I'm just super excited to see where these games will be in the future, although some games seem to have a bleaker future than others, but I guess we'll see, right? That's basically that. I know it's been some time since I last posted. I've been a little bit busy with stuff here and there, namely my brother's wedding, namely university. I'm almost done. I got one term left and I'm done. I'm getting my bachelor's degree. And I hope it's gonna be good. I hope it turns out well. I hope shit goes well. Because shit can go south real fucking quick. Anyhow, that's that. Cheers and have a good one.